reigning Sweden Major champions, as we return to this very chilly country, they will look to kick off their group stage with a win and set themselves up for a fantastic major.
The first band to go out is Monty. That is hilarious, going into the Direwolves. For y'all that don't know at home, there was a bit of a kerfuffle when the Direwolves were playing this map, Skyscraper. They almost got the plant down, but they couldn't kill the Monty inside the corner of that gold room. That was a very, very funky time. And Capital to be banned out from the Direwolves is an interesting one to me. A lot of hard breaches left in. Your EMPs of Thatcher are left in. Flores is left in. There's so many tools for the attack to work with, and that's Direwolves starting on that side.
Got another little note about that Monty ban. FaZe clan, the most banned operator against them is Montaigne.
Wow.
So teams in Brazil don't want to play against FaZe's Monty. Direwolves have clearly done their study and figured that out.
Absolutely. Now going into this first round, where are FaZe going to take us? Going straight to bedroom and bathroom, or kitchen. Interesting. You don't usually go to this bomb site first. This is considered a tertiary bomb site on this particular map. And for Direwolves, what kind of problem solving are they going to bring into it? Can they anticipate this quickly enough? It seems like they have brought that thermite in anticipation, trying to get those walls open on the top floor. What's the approach going to be?
I do wonder. This, like you said, tertiary bomb site, but Skyscraper for me tends to be, as a whole, a pretty defender-favoured map, and the stats tend to agree. If I look specifically at FaZe and Direwolves, defense win percentage is looking very strong. So for Direwolves, 60% or 59%. For FaZe Clan, 57%. And for Direwolves actually do have a negative attack win rate on this map of only 44%. So there's no doubt here, FaZe are the favoured team, and they start on the favoured side. So this is a serious uphill battle for Direwolves.
FaZe are looking to segment off this west side of the map, as we just saw in the top down, putting those bandit charges on the external walls facing outside the geisha balcony, that type of thing. Just trying to hold on to just half of that map, giving away the map control on this north side to the Direwolves. Apparently not. We've got Astro contesting early, trying to deny that entry. But eventually Reaps will be able to make his way in on the Nook. We've got all the Direwolves players consolidated here for that roam clear.
Here comes the first hard breach. It's ED. Thermiting open that single wall. That's going to leave them very exposed to any aggression from there. But of course, it also allows a lot of cutoff for the attacking side as this roam clear commences. But there's still so much map control for FaZe.
So far, so good from the side of the Direwolves. They have identified that FaZe are segmenting off the west side of the map, and so let's take the east side, the part that's given to us for free. Now remember, the bomb site is that ground floor, so not only do Direwolves have to make their way through the top floor, they also then have to transition down one floor, so there's a lot more work to go, and still lots of utility blocking them off from doing that.
Keep an eye on this Valkyrie from Cameraman. He's going to be hunting down those entries with the cameras, perhaps enabling vertical C4s as well. We've got the Bandit with a C4 who could help out, get a call with one of those as well. Reaps the man of the hour, already low HP from that initial engagement, but it's Drum that's going to be such a difficult ground to take for Direwolves.
So we can see Direwolves starting to get into the second phase of the attack, and that's transitioning players going down as well as starting to burn the utility in that top floor. Flashes are going to go through, followed by a nade, but it's Astro that's getting aggressive on that Geisha double window. The shots don't quite connect, but what they have done is taken down that bandit charge on the Geisha wall. That can get opened now, and Astro has something else to worry about.
Yeah, he's got a lot to worry about as he's pushed back even further with more hard breach going out. Reaps the third highest ranked player at this event from Stage 3 performance. He is a machine. But it is Souls who finds the opening pick, and Reaps goes down. He was lit from earlier, and now he's put into a spot of bother. Difficult position now for Direwolves. They found their first kill, but it was traded back. And, well, it's all ED with a flank as well from FaZe. This is not looking too hot.
ED now left all on his lonesome on the top floor. C4 to connect on the side of Souls, but really this is pretty dire for ED. There's not a lot he can achieve now. The rest of FaZe down in that ground floor, except for Astro, who's made his way back up the main stairs through Drum and is able to take him down FaZe with the first round of the series.
Yes. Good start there for FaZe, as we would expect, but fortunately for them, it's on their tertiary bomb site, and usually that's where you start to see cracks in these defenses. It's when it gets to that tertiary bomb site. Get the first one out of the rain nice and quick, have a really good aggressive start, but then play back in your fortified positions, play off of those Valkyrie cameras, that information, those powerful spots that you're holding, and it gets a good tertiary bomb site win that you would otherwise have to fight quite hard for.
I think that's a great approach from FaZe, to be honest. Right off the bat, test Direwolves with a tertiary bomb site, right? When you do one of those holds that the bomb site is on the ground floor, but you're holding onto the top floor, it tests Direwolves' ability to do a multi-stepped attack, and that's to go through the top floor, transition, go down, and make that time management work for them. And what was so frustrating about that defense was Astro's use of the Azami. Every time they got to that choke point of Drum and of Shrine, there was another keeper barrier to block them off. Every time they got, even when they tried to burn the utility inside of Geisha, that was a damn fortress inside of Geisha that was going to be impossible to clear in 30 seconds, and that's exactly the beauty of strats that are multi-leveled like that.
Well, FaZe are going over to Exhibition Office, still not going to Tea Room as of yet, Mandy. I'm loving seeing this Doc, though, from Cyber. Doc is kind of now filling that support role that you used to see reserved for your smokes and your mutes and your other operators that have that shotgun and that anchor util.
So some cool stuff, Easy, gonna borrow you here. They've actually opened up half of the office wall. Usually you see this being closed off, but what this means is that even though ED has brought Thermite, he can't get the Thermite collateral onto the bar wall on the other side, and that player behind the bar is gonna be safe from any hard breach that goes on the wall. Not only that, but because that wall's open, it's very, very dangerous to get a hard breach charge on there anyway. And so playing a pretty aggressive setup onto the external of this map, and Direwolves have to try and deal with it with this west-sided roam clear.
Good information, though, early on from Reaps. Spots out the player in Geisha. Could get his teammate on that. Astro gets aggressive. They should know about this. They should be able to punish this, but ED is not watching Reaps. He doesn't land the shot. That is a huge missed opportunity for Direwolves. Finally, no, not even then. Astro gets out of dodge.
Astro being a bit sneaky beaky, starting to make his way through that top floor. He even barricades the other side off. He's going, up, not dealing with that anymore. But put it all to rest. And now this double window cutoff is the next point of contest for FaZe.
Oh, wow. FaZe are looking pretty hot here. But here comes a bit of a lurk from Reaps. Inside of T at the moment. What's he going to be able to achieve? Try and take out the default camera, if he can. Bit of information gathered. Oh, Astro just missed that. Does take down the drone, and as he starts to fall back, looks like he's been stimmed up. Here comes a nade. Oh, but knock. There we go. Reaps finally gets the opening. Delivers on what was promised, but it's not without significant disruption to Direwolves' attack.
That was some really strong micro from Reaps. He knew that he was going to take the 2-on-1 fight there from going inside of Terrace and going into Drum. So he threw a nade in advance. Make sure you clear one angle, and that's the one inside of Terrace, and then go in and fight the Drum player. And that's some excellent that's some excellent individual play on the side of Reaps. Now Jackie Wu has pivoted over to this rappel instead, but it's going to fall short to those lines of sight that we spoke about earlier, ED. Now in a bit of a tussle with the player behind the bar. That's Cyber, who's actually going to go for a run out through that rotate and take him down.
Wow, great stuff here from FaZe. Once again, they own this map. Cyber to just get a nice buff as well, thanks to the Doc stims. Diffuser is down on that ground as well. Poor Reaps is so low. I'm sure he would love it. Doc stim at the minute, but don't think Cyber is likely to give him one. There you go. He's down, and it's all on Souffle, who doesn't last much longer either. FaZe, a very confident and comfortable start, 2 rounds in a row.
Really, really comfortable from the side of FaZe. Even the way they played the strategy, even though the West main push came through, was calm. It was collected, right? They had those lines of sight that were ready for that fall off inside of that T room where Reaps was playing. They even had the wall open in advance for when that hard breach was going to rotate around and try and put pressure on there. It just felt like that FaZe top floor attack had their utility that was dispersed throughout the map so evenly, step by step, to fall off. And the Direwolves started to fall short, and they lost their man count as they went through on that roam clear.
It's a tactical timeout now for Direwolves, as we saw Odin just reeling in the team. And likewise here on FaZe, They can have a bit of a yarn, not that they really need to. They've been very confident so far. They haven't shown many weaknesses.
They look pretty good. They look pretty calm, collected, and happy. It is Skyscraper, and they've won 2 defensive runs very, very clearly. Really impressed with the strats that they've been able to bring out as well on that top floor. That was really cool.
Now we're going to go... Oh, wow, we're not even got a tea room. We've got a bedroom, bathroom. Mandy, what is this?
The strat book, I'm telling you. These guys know exactly what they're doing on this map. Bedroom and bathroom. FaZe, what are you going to bring for us now?
I'm really going to be keeping my eye on this early game. It feels like there are moments where Direwolves could be punishing FaZe, and FaZe is running around willy-nilly. They're not really kept in check. They are given a lot of ability to just play the way they want to off-site, get aggressive, and keep Direwolves on their toes.
FaZe, what are they going to go for? They're looking for this top floor extension. They've actually closed off that hatch on the top floor. They're even going to put some wall denial on this office wall too. So looking to hold on to this east side of the map for as long as possible seems to be the approach for the defense.
Interesting Galaz pick, Sen's pick. This is not something you see every day from Direwolves, from any team in fact. Kind of want to see this work just because I think it'll be fun.
Yeah. What have Direwolves got to offer? What is their plan with that Sens and Glaz pick? Right now, just sort of making their way around this east side of the map. There's actually 4 players set up to take this office-sided wall. EMP goes out. Where's the hard breach going to go down?
Is there any hard breach whatsoever, I wonder? Or is it perhaps to get... Oh, there you go, upstairs. And there's a jump in as well from ED, but he is taken down quite promptly by Cyber, protected by the position of that Kiba barrier. Pika can't see through that smoke very well as he's been moving too much. And this is not looking ideal here for Direwolves.
But look at what Direwolves are trying to do. They've identified that FaZe are all off the site, aside from Cyber. So if they can start to surround him like vultures, is exactly what Jackie Wu's starting to do, coming from this little pillbox entry, then they can maybe get a grip on the site. The bomb is, the diffuser is in the bomb site at the moment, but they're not able to do that because FaZe, they're holding onto these adjacent positions and they're denying the entry.
Finally, we might see a kill for Direwolves, but not to be confirmed. Poor Pika now with this DMR is in a spot of bother, feeling that pressure, getting peeked up. It's a 1v4, finds the first kill. Not likely to find much more as FaZe start to swarm in like ants. He spots a player on the corner, but he's not going to be able to out-duel Astro with that DMR.
Look at him go. FaZe, yeah, what a cool strat that was as well. They had Cyber inside the site with the Zami. He was able to shape up the architecture of that little box onto the bathroom window, and that prevented the Direwolves from just being able to hop straight into the bomb site, right? You really only need that one player there, little impromptu shield in the form of the Kiba barrier, while the rest of FaZe, they were set up adjacent to the site. So as soon as the Direwolves tried to get control into the building, they were immediately punished by that crossfire around in and around the site. FaZe are now going to take us back up to this karaoke, actually not back up, for the first time, to this tea room and karaoke.
Around the world, let's see if they can
around the world tour.
It. Oh, interesting, they're actually going to full Rio off as well. Sometimes you see one side left open so that you can kind of play for retake a little bit, play quite aggressively off that position inside of T, but full Rio'd up. What's the drum setup like, I wonder? Are we doing the feet holes, the normal default? No, we're doing a full Rio as well.
Very interesting, this FaZe strat.
And a juggle.
I don't mind this from them. I like that. I feel like this is a slightly more conservative setup to what FaZe have brought for the previous few bomb sites. The last few, we've really seen them extend throughout the map adjacent to the site. This one, it feels more site-centric with that wall being closed and with those foot line of sites there for the FaZe players to play within the bomb site and look outwardly as the Direwolves try to make their way in instead. A little more conservative than what we've seen before.
Where's the push from Direwolves? Looks like it's a pretty classic map sweep here. Back to basics. Quick though, swift entry. Good information on the back of those drones. And no early contest from FaZe. That's good for Direwolves, means they won't waste too much time. And they've got good info here on these positions in drum.
It's good that Jackie Wu as well has brought out the Flores in hand. We can see him putting down one now to start clearing out this shrine position.
Wow.
Pika, in fact, is able to use these angles against them, is able to take down Souls. That's the player inside of Shrine himself, and suddenly they have one less power position to deal with.
Yeah, cameraman's getting aggressive now. Where his former teammate had died, the shield has been dispatched, and he's going to burn his smokes to try and delay time. A dangerous game for FaZe. They decided not to contest the other side of the map, and now time is against them.
Reaps, once again, using those nades to try and make an in for himself, while Bullet has a C4 prepped from below. That's the drum entry just above, and so Reaps is going to have to make this entry real swift if he wants to get in there safe.
Oh, but a second pick now for Direwolves. And it turns out Tea Room Karaoke is not the play either.
Oh, and Pika as well is just repelled into the bomb site. Reaps take down a camera, but all of a sudden it's a 5-on-1. Pika, the playmaker for the Direwolves, making his way into Karaoke. Just Bullet left now.
I mean, he has no C4. He's got some info. He might go for a vert with the shotty, but nah, it's not going to work. Detonates a C4 for sound cover elsewhere. Makes his way up the back stairs. That flashbang's going to make it very difficult, and surely this is going to be a flawless round for Direwolves. 5 versus 1, Bullet. What can you do? This is your chance to show us what you got. Oh, there's the first one. Nice little spray. Good bit of information. That drone taken out. And Direwolves hold their crossfires, hold their positions. Bullet doesn't have a lot of time to work with, and you got to admit here, he's not likely to win this round. Can he do a little bit of damage to the Direwolves psyche, I wonder? No, there you go. Direwolves get their first round at the Major, and a convincing one at that.
The really instrumental player in that round was Pika. He got on that windows straight away, the window rappel inside of Karaoke, and he actually used the lines of sight that FaZe made against them. Once again, because it was so conservative, that setup, because it was so locked in to that Karaoke side of the map, Pika had all those lines of sight to see the anchors directly from that window, and them not being careful when rotating back into the site was immediately punished. We got 3 kills just off that one rappel right. He was able to get in, get their bomb site control, and the rest of Direwolves collapsed from the positions around him.
Well, how many did you say Direwolves need to be satisfied with their performance?
I said 2 or 3.
You said 2 or 3. I reckon overtime would be huge. Like, if they can get 6 rounds, that would be phenomenal. If they go 7-5 loss to FaZe, I still think that is a performance to be proud of. Direwolves in their group, like, it's not FaZe Clan that they're likely to beat. I'm just double checking the group right now. So, I mean, this is a tough group, right? Direwolves, FaZe, Mirage, and Wolves, and I think most people would put their money on FaZe and Wolves. One of the best teams out of Brazil and one of the best teams out of Europe. Mirage, obviously, a team that not many people would have expected to be here. That's where Direwolves expect to get their points. But here against FaZe, every round matters for building up that confidence.
Direwolves have changed their approach a little bit with their lineup as well. They're bringing double hard breach, which is not super characteristic here on Skyscraper. You've got the Selmas of ED, and you've also got Jackie Wu on the Hibana. Now, bringing the ranged hard breach into the setup the FaZe doing, I think is the right play. Because of how aggressive the lines of sight are for FaZe, everywhere you walk around, you're not going to get an exothermic charge on the wall. That is very dangerous. Cyber's going to be the first one to contest his entry in the ground floor. Not only that, but Direwolves aren't going for the sweep anymore. They're looking for a more direct attack bottom up onto this bomb site.
Yeah, wow, this is so much aggression from FaZe. And Cyber does net himself a kill. That's Reaps gone down, almost gets another one too. He's been droned, and he does not give a damn. About to be swung, push from 2 angles. What a shot from Cyber. And here comes Bullet dropping down. Oh, it's all on Jackie Wu, and he's not going to survive the C4 unless he shoots it like that. Oh, a pistol. Oh my God, Jackie. 1v2 now. And, well, he's taken out, but he got a couple of stylish pistol kills there, so we'll give him that.
Chaotic round from the Direwolves in FaZe. Good grief, that was a bit scary. Direwolves, they changed their approach that round. They decided not to go for that map sweep and try and directly hit the bomb site. Something we know that FaZe are very good at on this map is playing the rooms adjacent to the bomb site. They are super good at that, especially Cyber, who was just playing inside of that reception area. He identified that they were going for that bottom-up take really early, and with the help of Bullet dropping down from the mezzanine, was in a very safe spot to contest those 2 angles and eventually take down the Direwolves. They barely even got in.
Now, Now we find ourselves at the last round of the half. Last chance for Direwolves to show us what they got on this attack. Hasn't been too crash hot so far, aside from that flawless round on T, but don't expect FaZe to go back to Tea Room Karaoke anytime soon. In fact, they're going back to Kitchen right now, which is where it all started. And that was quite a confident round. I'd say Direwolves are probably least expecting to play this Kitchen bomb site and the Bedroom bomb site. If you have less experience on it, you're probably dry running it less. And it makes those pocket picks even more powerful for FaZe.
Okay, so Direwolves have switched off hard breach and support completely. They've changed their entire lineup, focused on this roam clear instead. Cyber's going to look for a spawn peek on the rappel player just outside of the ventilation there. Is not able to find it. Just a little bit too early for that one.
But look at how aggressive FaZe still are. There's a player at every single window on the map, it seems. Keen to assert their dominance and rattle Direwolves' confidence. A lot of drones going down. Only half of Direwolves' drones remain, just 30 seconds into the round.
This is a tough one for Direwolves. It feels like they've brought along the right tools to deal with that roam clear, but are still struggling to get in. Now, where has Reaps gone? That flashbang has gone, but Reaps is the one that I imagine is going to be that first entry to try and cut down this roam and rendezvous with his teammates to take down Cyber, who's really quite isolated at the moment here inside of Office.
Round. Direwolves are still struggling to get in the building. A minute in, here comes ED. Trying to check for some information, but information is at a high price right now for Direwolves. Only 4 drones left and barely any map control to speak of.
Reaps fully pivoting his position as well over onto that Geisha side, and Cyber to take down ED. That was the player coming in from that ground floor, and those are your Nomad jabs off the board. Reaps, though, he's been able to sneak his way into Geisha, anticipating a cutoff from the side of Drum. It's a little bit dicey for Direwolves. We've got players in between each and every FaZe clan player, but no gunfights to be met just yet.
Oh, it's messy because there's so much map control still for FaZe. Reaps making his way down. Oh, if he gets close enough, he might be able to find a player, but he might make enough noise for one of the opponents to hear. Here's Bullet, though, and Astro. Working together may well keep Reaps at bay on this top floor. It's a tough angle to contest, the one that we see Astro holding right now, but that Dockerby reveals his position. He doesn't care, he's going to peek it anyway.
In the absence of frags, Souls is there to break the spell onto Jackie Wu, taking another one down. Now man disadvantage even further for the Direwolves. Reaps, he's been able to find a line of sight on the bomb side, but not before being taken down by Souls. 2 apiece now. Pecan starting to make his way in through bathroom, but it's far too gone for the Direwolves. Now 5-on-2. Oh,
this is so rough, isn't it? I mean, Cyber's in a keen position to win this fight as well, and he does. I believe that may be his 2nd or 3rd on the round. As Souffle's in a 1v5, he prevents it from being a flawless round, but at this point, 15 seconds left, it is a consolation prize, and Direwolves will be going down 5-1 in the first half. What a showing from FaZe here on Sky.
Really tough rounds for Direwolves. Super tough to get in on the building. Now, Skyscraper is one of those maps that the architecture of it does make it hard to play the entry. That is one important thing that we should note on this particular map, right? There are not that many ways to sneak your way into the building, especially if you're going to look for something like a roam clear, right? On that side of the office, the only options you really have are jumping in through that single exhibition window. You've got to try to get the wall open maybe, or you've got to go in through terrace, and all of those entries are very, very difficult to contest. They're quite defender-sided angles, right? And so for the Direwolves, what they tried to do was they pushed all their utility, all of their operators. There's no hard breach, it all went into the roam clear, but just trying to find an in onto FaZe clan players that are literally sticking their faces in windows is very, very challenging.
Yeah, 100%. It's so hard. And it's also hard to now go onto the favored side for Direwolves, but after being slapped around on their attack, it'd be really hard to live up to their full potential that they would like on this defensive side. FaZe, on the other hand, if you ever want confidence and you go 5-1 up, you want to be on that attacking side.
So FaZe, They're actually going to open the wall up this time when they're playing T and Carry Kuruma, as we just got pointed out. Opening up half of the wall, playing that aggressive into that shrine position. So you can see FaZe, they add small, tiny adaptations. Sorry, the Direwolves. Sorry, the Direwolves are taking very different philosophy to what FaZe were able to bring. FaZe kept that one close, but Direwolves are changing that, and they're playing that open instead, anticipating that when that FaZe roam clear comes through, that they're going to need that open to contest. Now, when FaZe played, they played that thing closed, and instead they open up lines of sight between the bomb sites, and that really enabled Pika on the rappel, right? So very different philosophies between these two teams.
Yeah, I like that. I like that you get to see teams have different interpretations of bomb sites. Unfortunately for Direwolves, they are going to have to nail a couple of rounds here to catch up to the lead that FaZe established for themselves. Now, I definitely got the vibe that this was going to be a defender-sided game, but I actually just had a squiz at the stats, and Skyscraper is only barely defender-sided in both APAC South and in Brazil. So that doesn't bode well for Direwolves, even though they themselves have a very high defensive win rate, 57%. FaZe Clan also have a 52% attack win rate on this map, which is pretty formidable.
Bullet has made his way into this ground floor along with Cyber. Now, Cyber's got the buck in his hand, so they can use those tandem of grenades and that skeleton key to try and open up the bomb site from below, clear out any power positions that might be there for the Direwolves. But I imagine that the Direwolves' power positions are more focused in around that drum side. Yeah, there we go. Around that drum side, around that shrine side area. This part at the top of the main stairs, this cannot be verticaled out. It's only the player inside of the bomb site that might be in a bit of a kerfuffle.
Oh no, cameraman. He just misses that opportunity, but fortunately, Cyber comes up from the stairs and finds two. Oh, FaZe. They are having a laugh as cameraman uses the sends to block a line of sight before it's taken out, I believe, by an impact nade. Jackie Wu's got to deal a lot of damage from his position now in Geisha as he's feeling that pressure. Flashes to go out, and cameraman marches forward once again.
Diffuser in the hands of Astro as well on the rappel, so he's going to have to jump into the building, and that's what the Sens wall is protecting him and allowing him to do. Now inside the building, he's going to be careful before getting that bomb down, but actually it's Jackie Wu to claw one back for the Direwolves.
Astro getting that diffuser down. ED's in a great position, but Jackie Wu's taken out. ED's going to have to swing, but the prone from cameraman is just too good. And Cyber, he opened it and he closed it. And this game, man, he may well be quick. It is 6-1 in favor of FaZe.
That was a super unique attack onto that bomb site from the side of FaZe. It is not every day that you see a bottom-up attack on Skyscraper. Because this map is so new into the map pool, I think teams are still trying to figure out how to use the verticality of the map and how to maneuver their way around the staircases for the map. But the way that they were able to get up off those back stairs, use the sense to cover the rappel in for Astro, and then put the pressure on Geisha at the same time was really masterful from FaZe, and is so unique that the Direwolves have probably never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah, I certainly haven't seen anything quite like that. I have seen Sens used for that kind of push, but not that that sophisticated. FaZe, they don't half-ass an idea. That's what I love about them. When they have a strat like this, they have thought about everything. Everything. And even when they lose one player, like the one repelling outside Geisha, it doesn't matter, because they have worked in redundancies into their strat book.
That is exactly what I was about to say. You just stole the words right out of my mouth. When you do a more direct attack like that, right, your players are more consolidated. They're closer together. They're more there for the refrags. And so, like you said, you need that redundancy when you go and jump into those hell-to-cell power position spots like Geisha, when you try and make your push up the backstairs, because that's where those gunfights are going to be lost. That's where you're going to lose your man count and your body count. And FaZe really worked in that redundancy into strategy. It's not something you see every day in Rainbow Six.
Only the best teams do it. And FaZe is certainly one of the best. They raised the trophy here a year ago in Sweden, and they got so close to doing so in Berlin. They're not going to let Direwolves stand in their way, that's for sure. Just have a look at that. Cyber's 12-3. I didn't even notice until now.
FaZe once again looking for this bottom-up type take. Cyber is back on the buck. They've already opened up the wall. They're starting to use the floor-res drones very close to the bomb site already, putting the pressure onto room adjacent. That's inside of Dragon. Seeing if they can get an into the building. They're being really careful about it. Cyber's just outside of bathroom. He's just outside of reception. Meanwhile, Pika, he's there to contest early.
Oh, I like this from the Warden pick. might be able to suppress some of those flashbangs, but that upside down rappel is going to make it impossible for Pika to run out. Here comes the Flores drone. Is eventually taken out, but it doesn't matter at this point. The wall has been breached.
The wall has been breached, but they're actually playing this line of sight open, enabling Pika to directly contest the breach with that 1.5 times on their what was going on with me? The MPX. Wow, that was a bit of a tongue twister. Still holding on to their Jackie. We was getting aggressive onto the exhibition jump out too, but they're going to keep holding their ground.
What a rough position for Direwolves to find themselves in. FaZe are circling around this bomb site, looking like they may well just go for another direct attack. You can see almost all of their players are here. Bullet on the roof and Cyber off on the other side of the map somewhere, likely trying to work a bit of a lurk. But FaZe are given so much information on where these players are, and Cyber may be able to do some serious damage here. Opens up with the bark and takes down Reaps. What reaction time! And Astro's going to suppress any aggression ideas that Direwolves might have. It's going to be over before it starts, I think, Mandy. Just 2 players left from Direwolves, but good shooting from Jackie Wu might keep them in it. And here's ED as well. He's the last one left in a 1v3. Soul's down on the ground. And Cyber just so low HP. ED does a bit of damage, but Astro is keen to swing him. ED has that diffuser down on the ground. But he's got to win this 1 versus 2. Player jumps outside, going for the res, as ED is suppressed by the flashbangs from Cyber. FaZe, with that time ticking down, decide how to play this. It's too late now for ED to go for a run out. He's got to take down Cyber. The man of the hour, 13 kills. Astro goes down. And ED has to win this 1v1 against Cyber, but it doesn't matter, because Cyber is simply better. 13 kills in the map, and FaZe takes Skyscraper 7-1.
Even in that last round, even in the 3 versus 1, they go back, pick up their teammate, show that discipline and respect to the Direwolves. They don't give anything away. That's FaZe. That's the team that respects all of their opponents, and wow, what an incredible game of Skyscraper that was from them.
FaZe are such a terrifying team, especially in the group stage. Historically, these guys always slap in the group stage. Just think about Berlin. They did it there, and they're doing it here again in Jönköping. Perhaps they've got a bit of Swedish blood in them. It's a long way from home, down in Brazil, but they seem to do especially well when they perform in Sweden.
They absolutely do. What a great Skyscraper from FaZe. I'm really impressed by the different ideas that they were able to bring out onto the map, something that we don't normally see, especially us coming from APAC South. We don't often see takes like that. Using the verticality of the map is very uncommon, and the way that FaZe were masterfully able to coordinate their pushes, they're really all on the same page, all jumping in the building and identifying the aggression of the Direwolves at once. It's just such great discipline from them.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this edition of FaZe's Any% Speedrun. Will be